Like Chris Angel. Chris Angel. That has to be the guy. That guy has to have no money left.
The magician?
And your life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Chris Angel, the mind freak guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I always say that like when we're getting ready, like to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And like normal people would be like, "Hey, are you ready to leave?" Not me. I'm like, I'll be like to my wife, "Are you ready?" All the time. It's funny. That or I'll just go like whisper breath, but it's just like long enough, just like
I like doing that to Gretchen in the morning too.
What's that?
I'm like, wake up.
Farting like SpongeBob's alarm
No,
clock.
I do that too. I'm pretty
That's
bad
like
at
my
that.
favorite.
We had Tommy Smith and I had a fun conversation. My wife was actually at the track on Saturday, and or was it Sunday? Sunday. Saturday? Sunday.
One of the days.
Yeah, it's all blurring together. And we got into a conversation about that, about passing gas next to your loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun conversation. So, you know. What I was trying to say earlier, though, is the driver announcement thing brings it all to a crashing halt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like the worst part of the whole event, in my opinion. But
yeah, and I'm like the worst at it. Like I am definitely the worst at it.
It's just the problem is that people's handwriting's not very good either, and so you got to deal with that.
You know what Live RC needs? They need an app like that you can put in to the Live RC thing for the race, and like you could fill out your A-Main sponsor sheets, and then you just pull them up on the computer, and you don't have to worry about anybody's handwriting or nothing.
Yeah, that's what they need. That would be a really good idea. That's a very.
I don't even know if it needs to be an app. It could just be like an add-on to the software.
That's an extremely good idea.
Yeah. Like, all right, A-Main drivers, go to liverc.com and go to the sponsorships spot.
Yeah.
And fill out your sponsor sheet. And then you can just pull it up. And anybody could look at them, you know.
That is a very, very good idea. We need to get Corey to get on that.
And you just it'd have to go like with the whole, because you wouldn't want just anybody to get in there.
Yeah.
But you'd need to have like an account, you know. And you just log into your account.
Yeah.
For Live RC, and then just go to your thing. Like, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be very cool. Huh. Yeah,
I think I just came up with a good idea.
Yeah, no, you did. That is an amazing idea, actually. I'm going to get in here really fast before we get started and try to get our show linked up on the Facebook here real quick. Oh, YouTube. What are you trying to do? Let me do this. Hide this notification. I don't want to hide it. I want to share it. Just let me share it. That's all you got to do. Oh, see, my phone's on now. Sorry for being late, everybody who's on right now. We got 8 people on here. Nick, Mad Thunder, and John Haas, kind of regular listeners.
Woo!
But I had a really long meeting at work today, and I kind of wanted to check the track. We kind of made a new rule for this week at the track, with it being so cold out. There's no logistical way that we should be able to allow nitro cars right now indoors, because we'd have to open up the doors. When we open up the doors, then we risk freezing the pipes. It's so cold out that you know, I'd be afraid of not only the pipes, but also the track would really get frozen up. And then also, like when it's this cold out and it's so humid inside, you open up the doors and you can just see, like, the air just immediately freezes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, I mean that's a pretty good idea. Didn't we have the pipes freeze once before?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
So basically what happened was the heater got shut off. So, we've got a breaker box and you can turn power off to things. That's how we're able to turn off the lights and everything. Well, the heater got turned off and I wasn't there for 2 days. Nobody was. And with that, back then, we didn't have near as many people going out to practice or anything like that either. So nobody had been out there for 2 days. And the corner of the pipe actually broke and water spraying everywhere. It was terrible. I was freaking out because that was the exact opposite of what was supposed to happen with that. I was supposed to shut the water off when it got, super cold out. And it really hasn't been this cold in so long. Yeah. That every night at the track this last weekend, I shut the water off because I'm like, well, if the heater breaks down in the middle of the night, the last thing we want is for the pipes to freeze and water to go everywhere. Oh man. So, but thank God that didn't happen. It was actually kind of warm in there on Sunday.
No, I was comfortable. I was very comfortable. Our shop today at work, we use a oil burner heater to heat our building or heat our shop.
Yeah.
And we're out of oil. Like we ran out of oil to burn 2 or 3 weeks ago. So the shop was 40 degrees today. That's what I was in all day today. It was 40 degrees. And so it's like I'm cutting parts over there on the lathe today, and it's like I'm going to have to build some clearance into these because when they warm up, they're going to grow.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if I can do this right now.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of weird. It hasn't been that cold in the shop for a long time. It used to get that cold or sometimes colder, but you just tough it out. I mean, it's what you got to do, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you want me to, I'll lead us in. How about that?
Yeah.
All right.
How about that?
It's weird. I didn't lose my voice this week, but I kind of lost it today. So
did you have to yell at Emerson?
No, I should. He got a detention because he was disruptive. He was disruptive today in his digital design class.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not again.
He's very disruptive in that class apparently because he gets detentions from that teacher a lot. So I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah, kind of.
On my end, it's funny.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbytown Hobbyplex, direct from Weberized Studios near 13th and Cumming in Omaha, Nebraska. You can find where we do this show from at Weberized.com. And by the way, I'm here with, as always,
Will Brinton.
Yeah. And we're here for the Hobbyplex Show podcast, which is brought to you by PivotLending.com or Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at PivotLending.com. And if you get a hold of them and get set up with a home loan or refinance, something cool like that, mention our show. And you can get $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate. Always ask for Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, and they'll direct you to the right person.
I always ask for Aiden Olson's dad.
Yeah, me too. Did you see that Zeke Bollinger has a Pivot Lending sponsorship?
What?
Yeah, it was on his sheets, sponsor sheets. Yeah. And Pivot Lending bought Everybody Pizza on
I had
Saturday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? It was one
Saturday.
Of those. Yeah, it was Saturday. They bought like 40 pizzas for everybody. I had a little bit too. That was good.
Yeah, I went over there and scrounged through the scraps. I was busy thrashing all day Saturday, and there was still a lot over there. So
yeah,
it was pretty cool.
I was a little butthurt.
Thanks, Pivot Lending.
Yeah, thanks, Pivot Lending Group. I was a little butthurt though because Emerson didn't want any, so it didn't save me any lunch money at all. Emerson wanted wings, so I still had to order Domino's wings.
God, why can't he just be easy?
He was like pizza. And I'm like, dude, shut up. You like pizza. It's free pizza. Go get some. He's like, I was really wanting wings. Meh.
Well, we're having pizza today. It's what I can afford.
Yeah. Guess what? Guess what Shane and I did on Sunday after we finally got a chance to leave.
Had pizza?
We went out to Wings and Rings and got wings.
Really? That's funny.
Without Emerson.
Man, I wish I would have gone.
Screw that guy.
Yeah, screw that kid.
Oh, it was good too. I had their tangy barbecue sauce. And the weirdest thing, nobody was there. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and the place was dead. There was one guy with a Mahomes Chiefs shirt on that was he looked like he was about to kill himself. Like he was just devastated. And you know, I don't really care about NFL football, so I was just like, wow, Tom Brady's really good. And then that was that. We just ate our food and then we left. It was great.
Yeah, I was really bummed. Not bummed. I like the Chiefs and all. It was just kind of a bummer to not see a closer game.
I know. Everybody wants a close Super Bowl.
I missed the first. Yeah, I missed the first half.
Growing up, I was a very big Chiefs fan. So was my dad. Mainly because of my dad. My dad's a huge Chiefs fan to this day. So he called me at like 10 o'clock. He's like, Alex, what do you think of the game? And I'm like, I don't care. It's not Supercross, so I don't really okay. You know? Yeah. So the conversation, the conversation was short, but I was like, well, look at it this way. Mahomes is young. Tom Brady's old. Tom Brady will go away here in a little bit, and then you got Mahomes for the rest of the time. So be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he will die at some point.
Woo!
That's what I say. That's what I say about like my wife gets upset about somebody like an older person and the way they think or something like that. It's like, you know what, Aaron? These people are gonna die someday. Like I just tell her that. I'm not saying go kill them, but like I think about that. I'm just like, they're gonna die. Like,
do you know that this is our 52nd episode?
I do now.
So officially, it's actually been more than a year. It's like a year and a month, but show wise, this is episode 52.
Ooh.
So thanks to Pivot Lenny, because otherwise it would be episode 13? Because we were only going to do this once a month.
Yeah, originally.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
So, but here we are. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You got your Ignite t-shirt?
I got a sweet new t-shirt.
Did you get the truck?
No.
Oh.
No, I just got the shirt.
Oh, okay.
I'm a gas truck poser.
You're a gas truck poser. I'm actually wearing my
What's Ignite? Ignite?
I'm wearing my Randy shirt today.
Yeah. You're like I'm like one of those like girls that try to be edgy in high school and they're like,
I'm gonna wear a Nirvana.
I love NoFX instead of NoFX.
Yeah.
Which I hate NoFX. I don't.
Yeah,
really
I'm
like
not a big
them.
fan of NoFX
They suck.
either.
Huh?
I'm not a fan of NoFX either.
Yeah.
It was the Nirvana thing that always bugged me.
Oh.
For a little while there, there were like 12-year-old girls walking around with Nirvana shirts, and I'm like, hey, what's a Nirvana song? What? What's Nirvana?
I like
You're
this.
Like, you're wearing the shirt,
smiley face.
Stupid. Like, how much did you pay for that shirt? I paid $45, and I got it at the Buckle.
Those are the reasons why Kurt Cobain killed himself.
I thought it was Courtney.
And whatever, but it's like people that wear Misfits shirts and they just like the skull. They think it's just a skull. And you know how I am about like I'm pretty into the like hardcore punk type stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't wear shirts like that.
Do you remember that time? Do you remember that time? Was it the first Reedy race that I went to, and I was standing in the airport and I saw a Dropkick Murphy couple, and I called you?
Yeah.
Was that race?
I think so.
Because they were like hardcore. They were both decked out in Dropkick Murphy stuff, and then they had like big hoop earrings coming out of everywhere, and I thought it might have been like the actual guy, but then I'm like, no, the actual guy wouldn't be wearing like Dropkick Murphy stuff.
Yeah. Like, I don't even really like Dropkick Murphys.
Really? You did back then?
I had a friend. Well, I did when I was in high school and stuff. Like, it was just because it was different.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, oh man, I haven't listened to them in a long time. Like, I have the Apple thing. I can listen to whatever I want. And I like put it on. I was like, this is stupid.
Hold on. We got a super chat real fast, and we're gonna get back to that because I can relate. Gary Silkwood. It's not much of a question. It's more of a thank you. It says, thanks for answering my questions in the comments. He's got himself a B6 to start racing at the local hobby town here in Indiana.
Nice.
And that's awesome. Mike, I wonder, is that the RC Fun Park in Indiana? Because that'd be a good. That's a pretty decent place. You know, they tried to hire me to announce one of the races there, and it conflicted with the Techno Series.
Yeah, when I worked at the home office, the owner kept wanting me to try to organize a race series between the Plex and the that place, and I was like, nah, you guys just come to our track.
It's a little far apart too. That's a little far apart.
Yeah, I was just like, you should just come to our place.
Yeah, that's a nice. I mean, it's decent. They've since they've started, I've noticed they're getting like the layouts have been looking better. They're using white pipe now. You know, they've incorporated a dirt oval kind of like we have. So it's pretty interesting. So that's good. That's good news. RC racing, I think, is pretty healthy right now.
Yeah.
So. Well, I can relate. So speaking of going back and listening to it and thinking that it's totally stupid, I on my way home from last week's podcast, I just happened to have 104.5 on the radio for some reason, and it was because last week I'd been letting my phone die. I usually listen to Pandora, so I always listen to the same thing I always do. And I was listening to 104.5, and TLC's "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls" came on, and I caught myself sitting there going, "Don't go chasing waterfalls," and then I was waiting for Left Eye's like rap to come in. They cut it out of the song because I'm like, how in the world is this song even possible without Left Eye's rap in it? And I can only assume it was because it was on 104.5. And then I'm like, well, this song's stupid without that. Mm-hmm. So
I felt like I was Stan in that South Park episode where he was listening to, was it Tween Wave music?
Yeah.
And they told him that he had a condition known as, what was it? Being a... being a sarcastic asshole. That was yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll let you say it. Yeah, and I was like, man, I am a sarcastic asshole.
Yeah. You know what? I keep wanting to go back and like I go back every once in a while, listen to my old Radiohead stuff, and I keep thinking to myself, I'm gonna think this is stupid. But I don't. I actually really like Radiohead a lot still.
I like Radiohead.
I don't I stopped forcing it on everybody at the track though. You notice I don't play it anymore.
It's so funny to be in the pits and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like I like this. And then everybody like, what the heck are we listening to? And like this is Radiohead, or this is My Morning Jacket, or this is Jim James, or this. Like I just know what it is. I'm like, yeah, these guys suck.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that. I'm like, I like this too. I don't know.
Did I ever tell you that I touched Jim James' finger once?
Not today, but
okay. Have I told that story on here?
No. I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
we have never talked about My Morning Jacket.
One of my favorite bands of all time is My Morning Jacket. Jim James, the lead singer. He was here in Omaha at the Slowdown for a solo tour, and the Slowdown, it has got a really low stage, and I wanted to be in the front. I'm tired of going to these concerts and always getting stuck in the back and not being able to like really enjoy myself and be around people and all that. And so we got there super early. We staked out our spot. We sat there, and Gretchen and I both. And then during the concert, he's going back and forth. People were raising up their hands, and then he started going around touching their fingers. And then my wife looked at me. She's like, "You're going to do that, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Nope, not going to do that. Nope, not going to do that. It's cool. I'm fine." And then, like towards the end of the thing, when nobody else was doing it, very organically, he came by and I raised my hand. I put up my finger like you're number one. And then he had his big pudgy guitar finger, and he just stretched out, and we touched fingers. He like pushed on my finger, and just pushed it. And I could feel the callousness on his, finger from his guitar. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And my wife looked at me and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine.
Happy.
I'm going to not wash this for a while. It'll be fine."
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was a good experience.
I would probably feel that way about like a Trent Reznor show or something.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That'd be bad to the bone.
Yeah. Anyways, we've been talking about nothing for the last 20 minutes. Why don't we talk about this race, man?
It's like an episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah. Hold on. I got to do something. I've been hiding it. I have a new drink, ladies and gentlemen.
What is it?
It is something I'm probably not supposed to have on here, but I'm gonna. It's whatever.
Oh, yeah. we're all one Pabst Blue Ribbon away from being white trash and in trouble.
Yeah, but this is Pabst Blue Ribbon hard coffee. It's like drinking a milkshake.
Yeah, and my milkshake does bring all the boys to the yard.
Oh, it's so good though. I mean, it's delicious.
No, those are great. It's just funny to. like that, like an episode of South Park. Now look into the camera and say, "I'm white trash and I'm in trouble." I'm white trash and I'm in trouble.
Oh man! Well, we just had a huge, gigantic 300 entry J Concepts Indoor National Series race. I feel like it's almost like surreal how quickly that race came.
Yeah.
Because how long?
Oh, go ahead.
How long have we been hitting that this summer? Like, I mean, we've been talking about it since what, April?
Oh, easy,
dude.
Easy April.
I mean, we knew we were going to have it, and then we finally got it in. Yeah. So the track build was pretty easy for the most part, really, dude. I had my buddy Doug, with his Bobcat really help us out, get way ahead on the track build. We actually had nice weather at the start of the week too, so that kind of helped. And Ronnie spent all day with me on Tuesday with the other tamper, and
nice.
So that really helped. So we had 2 tampers. Tommy Smith and Steven Smith and Jackson Anderson helped out on Monday and Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Jackson came out on Wednesday and helped a little bit. So it was nice to have some actual like real help too, not just guys just standing around pointing.
Yeah, Kyle came out on Sunday. And, built that back wall.
Kyle Gannon came out on Sunday. He basically built that whole back wall himself, and now that it's painted, it looks great.
Dude, top notch.
It really brought the room together. A lot.
Yeah.
So
like a nice area rug.
Yeah.
It really tied the room together. That was a Big Lebowski reference to anybody that hasn't seen that movie. Because if you have, you know what I was talking about.
I had to see.
And if you haven't seen that movie,
you're doing yourself a huge disservice.
You need to go watch the Big Lebowski, dude.
You know what's fun to do is because I kind of know that movie kind of by heart. Most of the lines and everything like that. If you know it that well, watch it in Spanish. It's even more funny, especially when you don't know Spanish, but you know the lines. It's hilarious in Spanish. What's that? Is it what's the Univision thing on? it's like one of the movie channels is free in Spanish, but not free in English, and on cable. And so every once in a while I'd get in and it came up one night and I'm like, oh, it's Big Lebowski in Spanish. I'm going to just sit here and watch this for a while. And I watched the whole thing and I knew exactly what was going on, even though I didn't understand the language.
I used to just watch Telemundo all the time when I was in high school.
There's some hot women on Telemundo. It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so Thursday night practice. There was a lot more people there on Thursday than I thought there was going to be.
Hell yeah, there was.
I think most of the people there, most of the people that raced the whole weekend were there on Thursday. I think there's maybe 20 people that came in Friday, and that was it. Everybody else was there.
Yeah. Everybody's chomping at the bit, wanting to do some driving.
So the track got broken in really fast. I mean, it was starting. It was starting to turn black within 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for?
What did you hear in the pits? I mean, what was the general sense of things? Because I'm busy being an announcer guy for most of it.
It was more like, you got to do what to your tires? That was kind of the thing, because it isn't our surface isn't the norm when it's especially this cold. When it's warmer, you can do less, but when it's cold, man, you got to be on top of your tire game. I actually planned on doing what I'd been doing for the last 3 weeks with just a V-cut in my rear foams. I hadn't even really been foam bustering them a whole lot, just like 20 seconds after I mount them, just to get the insert to kind of relax and fit the carcass profile a little better, and running them. Not even scuffing them, just throwing them out there and running them with goop on them, tire warmers for about 10 minutes, and they're good. But this last weekend, the tires that I had mounted and we were running, it's like, these things are just not coming around.
Yeah.
And so what I actually cut my tires open on the sidewall and took the
older
inserts out and punched them up with the foam puncher. And I did that to those tires you gave me too.
Yeah.
And then foam bustered them a little, and then they were good. And so what I think happens when the track gets that cold, and this is all theory, I don't have a way to really prove it, but it definitely works better when you do this. So when the track is colder, I think that you need a softer insert, and you don't want a insert that you squish it down and it's just dead. It's like you want it to be springy. And the reason is the track is so cold that your tire, I don't have a tire here, but when it sits flat here, I'm going to grab a tire. It'll be easier with the tire.
Will is currently getting into his bag of tires, pulling out a bag, and now he's back.
Okay. So what I think happens is your insert's so stiff that it essentially, it can't move because it gets so cold. It's like frozen.
Yeah. Right.
So when you have a full insert, or maybe even, just a V-cut in there, it's not springy. It doesn't rebound fast enough. And I think that, if you run a full insert that gets cold, and this is with the J Concepts inserts, they're pretty dense foam, and which is actually good because you can always make them softer. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the insert, when it pushes down, you can see it pushing. Well, so now it's compressed. You're going around a corner, it's compressed. This insert's icy cold, and it rolls around, and it's so dead because it's so cold, it doesn't recover by the time it comes back around. So you're essentially running your tire on flats, it's unsupported, and that's why you don't have any grip. And so by putting the holes in the insert to making it rebound faster, that's going to make it so that it can't get as dead feeling. You're kind of opening it up, I think, and it definitely punching the holes in them made a difference. So
yeah, I can see that. I remember back when I was fast that 2013, I got a 3 one round in Mod 2 wheel at this race, and I was on super blown out tires.
Yeah.
You know, and the foam's really broken in, and the tire was really broken in, and almost, I mean, it was not slicks, it was just blown out, and they worked better than a newer tire.
Yeah.
And that was back when we were doing greens back then too. We weren't running clays yet.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, the tires I ran this week also were the tires that I broke in over the course of the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That set that you worked on for me, I didn't even run it.
Yeah.
I didn't have time. So I just was like, well, I'm just gonna go with what I know. And ended up being the right choice, but at least for my buggy. Other choices were made that weren't very good, but whatever.
Yeah. That's okay.
But yeah, so do you think it was everything was positive? I didn't really hear much bad stuff. It was pretty much all good stuff.
I feel like the people that came and we did a good enough job on the podcast and talking about what we do, the word got out with what you need to do to your tires to have them work well at our track. That they're really, I didn't have a problem with there was plenty of grip out there. You just had to find it.
Yeah, I was not. I was not having an issue with traction myself.
And a lot of it, like the people that I knew that were having problems, maybe they just weren't informed or something like that. And then once they got on the program, their stuff was a lot better,
Yeah.
But, our track's kind of old school. It's kind of different. So there's nothing. I don't feel it. Here's my thing. Everybody's racing on the same track. This goes for any race that I travel to. I'll never complain about the surface because unless it's obvious that nobody did anything, like you go there, there's holes everywhere or something. But the thing that you have to understand is like people work their ass off to get these tracks prepared for an event like this. And it's like just complaining about it. It's not going to make any difference. It's like everybody's running on the same stuff and you got to figure it out. Like I've never understood how people can complain about that sort of thing. I feel like the people that do are the people that show up and race and are gone. Like they don't help. They're not involved. They don't help other people. Like I just have never understood the complaining about the surface of the track.
Yeah.
Because everybody like there's no magic button that somebody's going to push and it's like, oh, this is just better. It doesn't work that way. There's been plenty of races that you and I have gone to where the track wasn't good. And it was usually like a rain out or some unfortunate circumstance that ruined it.
Yeah.
But hey, we still raced and, everybody that I feel like would have done well did well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like I said, there's like, you just have to adapt and try to figure it out. That's racing. Like I've never been to it. You should be grateful you have a place to race. That's the way I feel.
My
and a lot of that comes from my grandfather because they raced midgets and they'd run on a plowed field sideways. They didn't care. They were like, we're just glad we have somewhere to do this.
My big thing at these things is just trying to run the program efficiently. Not make it so you're sitting around going, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed by how early we got out of there on Sunday. I don't know about you guys, but I was way happy.
Yeah, I was impressed. I made it home to pick up some pizza and wings and watch the second half of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And Saturday flew by too.
Yeah, I thought we got out of there a decent time on Saturday.
Saturday was really good. We made up a lot of time that first round actually, and then a couple people had some problems and we waited on them and luckily we were ahead. So it didn't hurt us that bad. We still ended up being almost an hour ahead of where the live time estimator was going to put us at. So I was okay with that. I was okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was a way to make Friday even better practice-wise. Like, almost, I mean, everybody there has a buggy for the most part, except for a few.
Yeah.
And so it's like there were still lines, you know?
Yeah.
But
no, there was, I mean, the line was a little ridiculous. Like,
sometimes.
Like, you'd walk out, at points, like, you'd walk out of the track or the pit area, like the carpet track area.
Yeah.
And you'd open the door and there's the line.
Yeah.
Like, all the way to the end of the driver's
stand. It did go by pretty quick, though. I mean, once
we switched to 4-minute sessions, it made a big difference.
One time I went out there and I started right next to the booth, and within, I think, 20 minutes we were already at the stairs, so it wasn't terrible. And it's weird because I was actually kind of pondering this. I was having like a philosophical moment to myself in the booth there on Friday. I was like, yes, waiting in lines stinks for practice, but at the same time, it's also almost like a social event. You might get to stand next to somebody they haven't stood, you've never even met before, and then you start chatting about stuff, Or, a lot of us have our phones now, so we're just have our head down. But even then, you saw people like talking about, whatever, or hey, I haven't seen you in, wherever. In South Carolina, I saw Irwin. This dude I hadn't seen like 14 years. And I was like, hey, man, how's it going? And he's like,
that's pretty awesome.
Oh, hey, how's it going? It's just,
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's what I think these races are about, is like getting to see your old friends and stuff. Like I like to do as well as I can, but I also enjoy getting to see my racing buddies.
Yeah.
Like the guys from Colorado, and they come. We need to go there sometime.
I know. So, I have 2 weeks of vacation now going, and so I am Emerson and we think we want to go to Salt Lake City because of their skate parks that they have there. There's like a Vans park there that he wants to go to.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I think, and I like mountains, so you basically would drive through the mountains to get there. Sometime this spring or summer, I think that's one thing we're planning on doing. And then I think I'm going to use my other vacation to go to Cheyenne for that Cheyenne shootout. And most of those Colorado guys will be there.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
But yeah, I hear you. I have to figure out when they do that. Like Moore's outdoor track is AstroTurf. That'd be a little different.
Yeah, I've never raced on AstroTurf.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean, it makes it so they can race when they get rain and stuff.
Yep.
Because it rains there a lot, doesn't it?
Well, when I went there for the stock nats in '98, it rained every single day at 3:00.
Yeah.
And then by 4:00, the track was dry. It was the craziest thing.
Just because the air is so dry, or there's so much wind?
It was the nuttiest thing. And then when I went to the gas nats in 2010, I think, it was in Colorado Springs. It was about 100 miles south, and it didn't rain every day. But at 3:00, this massive gust of wind would come every single day and pick up like half the people's easy ups and toss them into the air, and everybody would have to pick up after themselves after that. And like by the third day we were there, we all figured it out, and we all like had them weighted down instead of staked down, and we were all like prepared for it. It was the weirdest thing. So, well, yeah, I mean, I think the race went off really well. Jason seemed pretty chill on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Dakota won 2-wheel and 4-wheel, and Caden Fuller won 2-wheel and 4-wheel. So he had his guys up top. So I guess if that happens, you're going to be pretty happy anyways.
Right.
I
hope it was a good weekend and everybody enjoyed themselves.
Yeah, I think it was. I didn't see any sort of pouting or anything on my end, but like I said, I wasn't in the pits. Not that I'm looking for that or want to, talk about that. I didn't see it. Everything was positive. And here's the crazy thing. I was really worried about the when I saw the forecast, my heart sank, and I just went, oh no, like
Yeah.
I know what our track does when it's 30 or 40 and above, and I have no clue what our track would do with it being 0 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And so Saturday when I walked in there to turn on the lights and stuff, the condensation drip from watering overnight was really heavy. I mean, there was a lot. Yeah. There was a lot more than I thought there would have been. And luckily, I mean, I put the buckets out where they needed to be to catch it on the really bad spots. But I mean, there was even more than that. And so I was a little freaked out. But within 40 minutes of practice, I mean, you could hardly tell that they were there.
I would say not even. Like it was actually almost like the way the track was laid out versus the drips.
Yeah.
Like you'd start running on it and it was like we had our own self-watering type mister system.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was like the perfect amount of water, honestly.
Yeah. It was really fast. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, I started to feel better about things. And so Saturday night, I watered again, but before I did, I had Emerson go out there with a temp gun and temp various parts of the racetrack, especially the northwest side and that side after the 8-pack where that garage door was at. And I'm like, hey, go take that temperature of that track, because if it was like 32 degrees or less, I wasn't going to water.
Yeah.
Why would you? I mean, that would basically, it would ice up. That'd be terrible,
Mm-hmm.
And we put some old carpet remnants in front of that one garage door. It was just barely cracked. Some of those doors you can't get down anymore all the way. And so the air comes in, a little bit quicker. And towards the end of night on Saturday, it was actually starting to fog up over there a little bit.
Yeah.
And I noticed it, and that's when I had Emerson go get those carpet remnants. And I think Lance Murray, who volunteered to be our tech guy for 3 days, he's a listener here too. He helped him out to get that kind of blocked off. But we took the temps, and it was 40-something degrees up there, and it was like 36 or something like that over in the northwest side. And so I'm like, well, I'm going for it. So I watered, and what I think happened was it increased the humidity level slightly and actually warmed the place up a little bit. Because when I walked in Sunday, I was expecting it to be super cold in there, and it was not. It actually was pretty darn comfortable.
Yeah.
And so then I felt even better. I was like, oh, this ain't bad. And then the drop wasn't that bad either, because it was so cold out that it actually didn't. A lot of times what happens is the condensation builds up and then on the roof, and then it freezes. And then as it comes up, the sun comes up the next day, it heats up the roof and it thaws it out. And that's where a lot of the drip comes. Well, it was so cold out that never thawed out. It stayed frozen. So you didn't get that huge drip down. And so it actually just everything just kind of worked out, And I don't know about you, but in both my mains, the track had crazy traction.
I had plenty of grip. I almost had I had so much grip I had to start tuning corner speed into my car.
Yeah.
To get it to turn.
And Jim Bronson and I were talking before when I think it was a qualifier or main about, he's like, I cannot believe we're not running slicks here. And I'm like, I know. It's just the way it is here. I can't explain it.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine with whatever, The thing I don't want to have happen, and the thing that was nice is you probably could have got away with only two sets of tires for this weekend or this past weekend, and that's perfect. That's about the right amount of tires you should need for your average dude racing.
Yeah,
and I was just glad it didn't go to a silver slick.
Yeah,
or only a 2-3 run tire.
Don't you think that it's not that if our dirt could get smoother? I mean, in my opinion, this was a pretty smooth racetrack.
I thought it was smooth.
I mean, I really took my time. We tilled it up. We really took our time packing it in with the tampers. But our dirt does that weird thing where there's like little gaps. You know what I'm talking about? Like when I went, like at Beach RC, their dirt, when they pack it, it is one solid, smooth line of dirt, right?
Yeah.
And they run slicks there because it's just their dirt is like just one solid. It's like when you ice it's like when you ice a cake and you take it and you go like this and it's just flat and smooth.
Yeah. I was gonna say it looks like kneaded clay.
Yeah.
Like here, like for a pottery wheel or like some like brick, like kneaded like modeling clay or something.
But our dirt, doesn't do that. Even after I tamp it smooth with the tamper, it still has this like little extra what's the word? Gosh darn it. What am I trying to say? It's got like little, not traction rolls, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe don't. I don't know. The viewers are probably like, this guy's stupid. It just doesn't come together as one big flat piece. It's got all these little
chunks,
cracks in it. Yeah, cracks basically. I'm trying. Yeah. There's a word I'm trying to think of, and I cannot think of it. And at midnight tonight, I'm gonna be lying in bed going, "What word was I trying to say?" And then I'm gonna say it.
Yeah. Well, I always kind of wonder because, like at the Lincoln track, when we would bring dirt in, like 1 year it would be totally good, blue groove, never blow out, work great. Next year, after it froze all winter, wouldn't work the same. I always wondered if it was something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I love our dirt.
But
it's just
I think our track's fine. I like our track.
It's just that it just does not conform to the standard slick protocol.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. I don't like slicks in off-road.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like I remember when our track used to take slicks and you guys were running them at club races every week. You had to have like brand new slicks that were tight on the insert, and if you didn't have that, your car would not go.
Yeah, we were trying to do slicks there for a little bit, but you had to keep the track so freaking wet.
Yeah,
that it kind of.
And then it's like
fun.
Derek and I refused to run slicks. Like we're just like, this is our cars. These are our tires. We're gonna run them, and you guys are running those pre-made slicks that some company made, and
primes.
I think you and Dylan were running Proline primes, and they were like 2 seconds a lap faster.
Yeah,
and then like the second round, the track dried out enough that we were faster on those, and then you'd water the track before the main. It was like, gosh dang it.
I guess you could call it character.
Yeah.
You could call it character, but not in the character sense of like a nitro track getting blown out, because this track is not blown out at all. It's not even close. It's just that our dirt just does not pack tight enough to support a slick tire.
Yeah, our track's a nonconformist.
Yeah.
I'm such a nonconformist. I'm not going to conform with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. You beat me to it. Well, I don't know. We should probably talk about some of the results and stuff, right?
Sure.
I mean, that's important.
Yeah.
There were some pretty cool main appearances, some pretty cool finishes. Some not so cool stuff if you're me or you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I felt like I did okay.
You did fine.
I don't know. I mean, I the first time I had to change my car in a while. I had to get it figured out. I had it figured out for that B main. That was the first time my car felt like really good all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know what, this isn't working anymore. I have to finally try something else. And I copied Kyle's car, and I ran it in the C main, and I ran my rear shock stood up still, like in the middle hole. And I was like, this thing is just too edgy for me. Like, it's too like point and shoot feel. Like, it wasn't smooth enough. It was just like everywhere. I was like, I'm gonna just lay my rear shocks down. I laid my rear shocks down a hole. Oh man, that thing was a lot smoother to drive and a lot more comfortable, and made the triple fine. And man, if I didn't doink that pipe in the B main, I felt like I could have, because I went from 9th to 4th in like 3 corners.
Yep. Yeah, you did. That was
and
a really good start.
If I didn't do that, I felt like I could have raced at those guys up front.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of reeling them in, wasn't I?
Yeah, at the start for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the end of the race, I mean, you were kind of pulling the same lap times.
Yeah.
So I know.
Yeah.
Charlie did a good job in the B main though. Mariana of 2-wheel.
Oh yeah.
He kind of just got out in front really quick and just sort of did what he needed to do to stay there.
Yeah. No, he was good, man.
I'm going to start with Plex spec. So I kind of, when we were talking about this, we were only supposed to have 2-wheel mod, 4-wheel mod, the 13.5 buggy and truck, and the 2-wheel drive expert. He did not want to have mini. Not that he didn't want to have it, but he didn't have mini truggy, independent buggy, or any sort of beginner class listed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, we've got to have. First off, we got to have mini truggy because I wanted to race it. And then I was like,
right.
And then I'm like, second off, we need independent buggy. We have such a strong group of regular Joe drivers that love racing in that class that it'd be stupid to not have that. And
right.
then I'm like, can we throw in Plex spec? Because please. We got some kids that would like to race, and they're super intimidated, and I don't want to see them. Miss out on a chance to be a part of this. So, before we get to that, we got a $10 super chat.
Really?
Yep. So Nick Nuthouse dropped $10 here.
Thank you.
What is the best part, and what is the biggest pain in the butt with running such a large national event at the Plex? And he says that he really enjoyed the webcast and Will's snarky comments in the plus 40 class with the older folks.
Snarky. Yeah, nobody was safe in that one. I was letting her go. I was having fun. I hope it was okay. Like what I was saying was okay.
No, everybody was fine. Nobody was up there going, "That's stupid butthole," making fun of it. Everybody knows what they're in for when they race 40 plus. Yeah,
like everybody calls it old man mod. Like, all right, ready for old man mod? It's like all right, I'm prepared to make fun of you.
The biggest pain in the butt, I'll do that first, is the sign up. By far. Yeah. The biggest pain in the butt is the sign up because you've got, we have a limited number of spaces. We only have 140 something pit spots. And we know that if an event like this happens where it fills up on on RC Scoring Pro so fast that you're going to end up having to you need to get these guys paid, to get them paid, to make sure that their spots
RC sign up?
Yeah.
You said RC Scoring Pro.
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah. Sorry. So, okay. So, yes. So we use RC sign up because it's the easiest, simplest thing to use, and most everybody who races has an account. So when a race like this fills up, the worst part is trying to make sure that everybody is actually going to come that's signed up for the race. And the only way to do that is to get them to pay. Mm-hmm. And that is the biggest pain in the butt because My worst fear is having people sign up and then not come, and then all the people that you told couldn't come because you were full will go, hey, wait a second, you said this and now it's this. And
Yeah.
luckily at this race we had a few people that dropped after they paid, and I was able to fill them in with people who were on the wait list, so it worked out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The best part is really just getting it over with.
Yeah,
No, the best part is
it just seems like for me, it's like I prepared so much, and then it's like, oh, we're finally doing it. You know, it's like the prophecy is fulfilled.
I getting the track done. That's the best part. When the track is done and it's painted and nobody has got on it yet, and you take those pictures. I mean, I save those pictures on my phone so that I can, when people ask me what I do for a living, I can go, well, I do this, and I show them that. Or like when I go buy paint and they're like, what are you painting? I'm like, oh, I'll show you. That really blows people away. That visual of seeing the track pristine when it's looking at its best, for me, is the best part.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like art. It's very much like art. Like,
it is an art.
I mean,
I think you're 100% correct.
I was a very artistic person. When I was younger, I was very good at drawing, always, and I always did really well in art class and stuff. And to this day, I still can paint. I still paint every once in a while when I have time. I haven't done it lately, but when Emerson asked me to draw something, and he doesn't see me draw that often, but when he asked me to do something, I draw something out for him. He's like, "Holy crap!" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm still a pretty good artist." To me, an RC track is a lot like that, because you're trying to utilize the space you have, and to me, it's like getting it just right to where you have enough negative space for marshalling spots, but also just so the track kind of feels right, you know. Sometimes when you look at a track and they use every single inch of what they have and they don't have any empty spaces, sometimes it can look way too busy or just kind of off-putting for some reason, you know?
It looks just kind of tossed in there.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion on layouts like that.
And then there's the opposite where they don't have enough, and you're just like, that's weird too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm always trying to find a way to have something without having something be too much or too, you know. There was a couple parts that were on paper on this specific layout that I left out, because when I started to look at it as we were getting done, Monday night, I'm like, that's not going to fit right there. It'll be way too busy. It won't allow for good racing. It's just enough, it's one more thing that doesn't fit right anymore, because we've got this here and we have this here. Just there's these things. And then in our track, you got to think of stuff. You have to think in 3D too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, for me, that's the best part is that. The racing is great too, but for me, the best part's getting the track itself done.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, okay. Anything else you want to add?
Nah, not really.
Okay. So Plex Spec. So Daniel Bender got himself a TQ and a win. So he got a TQ and a nice award for winning first in Plex Spec. So what do you think? Do you think he's going to run Plex Spec at Summer Series? He texted me today. Can I still run Plex Spec? And I'm like, well, it's not the Summer Series.
Yeah.
So
I think he should get that Plex Spec win in the Summer Series.
I think it'd be good for confidence.
Yeah.
And also then
if he races 13.5 4-wheel, I think he's just going to get frustrated.
Yeah.
That's a tough class. 4-wheel drive in general right now is tough.
Well, yeah, there was 63 cars. It's the biggest class.
Yeah. I think that he would be better off if he got a 2-wheel drive buggy and raced. If he's going to keep his current car, just race Plex Spec. If you want to race another class, not race Plex Spec anymore. Race independent buggy.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's there for too.
Mm-hmm.
So good job, Daniel. Fender Bender. He's usually on here listening too. So
Mm-hmm.
Lexi Bolin got second. She qualified third and got second. Nevin Sneathen qualified second and got third.
Nice.
So we did have a flip there. Joe Zaire the third, Joe 3, finished fourth, right where he qualified. And then it was the Vanderbeeks, Eli and Angie. And Mac basically made Angie race.
Oh, that's cool, though.
And then I had a little surprise for these guys. So we did get some door prizes and a couple of things. Team Associated gave us a car, a motor, and a battery. And I gave the motor and a battery to like some hard luck racers, an independent, and I think an expert buggy, or maybe it was 13 5-wheeler. I can't remember. But I used the number generator, random number generator.
Yeah.
And we gave Joe 3 a car, a B6D.
Yeah.
0.2. So
yeah, that was awesome. I didn't even know that was going to happen.
Yeah, I was kind of keeping that from everybody. I wanted to spring it on them. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the number 4 came up. I just went by car number, and I don't know. Everybody had a 1 in 6 shot of winning a car, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's like the perfect guy to win, or the perfect family to win a car, because he's going to talk about it
on his podcast. Yeah.
So
the ran out of talent podcast.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, had a great time, didn't do very well or something, and had problems, but hey, we won a car. You know?
Yeah.
His stuff looked good. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it looks fine.
Yep. So stadium trucks. So there was we lost a couple stadium trucks in registration because of the tire situation in truck.
That's a bummer.
Basically, J Concepts didn't have any tires because something's wrong with the mold or something like that right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that. I don't know.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Too late. I'm gonna get a phone call. You're off the team. No, it's just supply problems. That's what it is. It's supply problems, as it has been all year with everything. You know, I think that's what it is. So
yeah, they're not going out and picking tires off the tire tree. Like there's you got to do some maintenance, and sometimes maintenance is never convenient. So
yeah. But basically there were no golds available, and golds was a better compound. We had lots of silvers up there. But our guys upstairs, that was one thing I heard. They kind of got yelled at a few times for not having truck tires. And you're like, well, what do you want us to do? Pull them out of our butt? Like,
yeah,
nobody has tires.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt we were pretty lucky to get what we got for sale as far as tires go. It's just that nobody had any truck tires.
Sure.
So we at one time were up to like 40 something entries in truck, and I think it whittled itself down to a little over like 26 or something like that.
Ooh.
But either way, the guys that were there were fast. So,
yeah.
Alex Vanderbeek, and this was one of the few times where the TQ did not win a class this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alex Vanderbeek qualified second and took the win.
Nice.
And
Kyle
Holmberg got the TQ and finished second.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle from Minnesota, he won the CRC race in this class.
Yeah.
So he's a top runner in 13.5 truck.
Definitely.
Vanderbeek's truck looked really good though, and once he got around him, he kind of pulled away.
Yeah.
Zeke Bollinger qualified third, finished third. Former Summer Series champ Mitchell Brown finished fourth. Shane Borden, who was staying at my house from Boise, Idaho, finished fifth. Charlie Cavalier finished sixth. Rico was seventh. Brian Burnt was eighth. Clayton Cartaluca, another Minnesota guy, was ninth. And Dayton Mosier made the bump and finished 10th. So pretty good solid group of truck drivers here at this one. Let's move on to short course truck. So short course truck was another one where at the time of signups at the Purge, there were only 8 or 9 trucks signed up, and so I only got, I think, 9 plaques or 9 awards, and I didn't get any lower mains, and there was 12 of them, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just put all 12 of them in the main. Why have a 4-car B main? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And so
no, that doesn't make sense.
That's what we did. And, Tim Davis, or where am I at? Sorry. Stevie Slover took the win. Chance Roke was second. Ashley McCormick was third. Kaylee Hamilton was fourth. Dustin Hamilton is fifth. Todd Brewer was sixth. Todd Brewer hadn't raced in forever. Tyler Fleming was seventh. Nathan Brown was eighth. Bob Hamilton was ninth. Brian Kiever was 10th. Tom Tanner was 11th. And Tim Davis broke out like at the very first lap.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, at 12th. So Slover, TQ and a win. That's kind of the trend for the day. Chance beat out Ashley. They flipped spots. Everybody else was pretty close to where they qualified. Bob Hamilton finished ninth, so he got the last plaque that was made. 13.5 four-wheel drive. This was the biggest class of the week, so there were 63 cars. Caden Fuller with the win. Nate Sutherland finished second. Zeke Bollinger from the 5th spot up to the 3rd spot. And then you had Aiden Tice dropping down to 4th from 2nd. Kyle Schmer had a pretty good weekend, kind of top to middle of the pack for all of his classes. Kyle Holmberg was 6th. Mason Herrick was 7th. Cameron Ayers was just super unlucky, and this one finished 8th. Shane Borden kind of the same way in 9th, and Cal Gannon was 10th. Yeah. And Caden Fuller was on a roll. He was just lights out in both of his classes.
He was trucking.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess it was going to come up at some point. 40 plus 40 plus two-wheel drive modified.
Get off my lawn.
Alan Horn, who finds a way to win this class a lot, took the win. Jim Bronson from the 6th spot was 2nd, and he was 2nd behind me for a while I was leading. So, I mean, he was having a strong main event. Mac Vanderbeek got the podium, finished 3rd. And then I ended up dropping down to 4th on the last lap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Ken Peterson finished 5th. Cal Gannon dropped down to 6th. Eric Larson made the bump and finished 7th. Brian Burnt was 8th. Brian Cox was 9th. And Rico, I think he broke out. He hit the end of the straightaway or something, didn't he? I heard it.
Yeah, he hit the pipe at the end of the straightaway. And I was like,
I heard a huge pop. So, I mean, the only thing I can say about this one is I always remember to turn off your low voltage cutoff. So what was the voltage of your battery? 7.
Did you ever check it?
I did.
So it was 7 volts?
Yeah. When I hooked it up to the charger.
So you plugged in your charger, it was 7 volts.
It started out at 7. So, I mean, it was low, but it wasn't that low.
It wasn't at like 5.6?
No. So it's either what happened was my battery's old, and that very well could be because I've had it for a while, or I'm pretty sure that if I haven't hooked it up yet, but I'm pretty sure that if I hook up my Hobbywing thing, my voltage detection is still on.
Oh,
and you should always shut that off, always, especially at these long mains. So I'm not going to say I got.
If you're racing,
I'm not going to say I got robbed or anything like that. It's just if I would have taken one less practice lap, I think I took like 3 practice laps. If I would have taken just one less practice lap, I would have made it across the line in the win. I had the lead by like 5 seconds?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
At the end, it was still a good amount.
And I was,
you were going slow for like 3 laps. I was like, Alex just being conservative, like
no,
taking care of his buggy.
I could feel it. The third to last lap, I felt it, and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And honestly, I was kind of every once in a while I would double up the 8-pack just because I'm like, I got this much of a lead, I don't need to risk it. And then I was kind of just feeling where I was at when they started to catch up, and I could kind of see their cars a couple turns back. I would go, okay, let's get on it again, and then I'd really concentrate and hit the quad, and I'd pull away again. Mm-hmm. And there at the end, I'm just like, well, let's just double the whole way. I got a big enough lead. Let's milk it. And Yeah, that happened. So I just want to say that I keep finding really dumb ways to lose 40 plus races. So this is just a new one to add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
for
okay.
you.
I was a little upset for a little bit, and then I got over it.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one.
Yep. Independent buggy, Jackson Anderson, TQ and a win. Steven Smith finished second. Ian Helzer was third. Matt McGee was fourth. Lane McGee was fifth. Todd Filter was sixth. Justin Stevie was seventh. TJ Williams was eighth, making the main from the bump. He got the bump. Andy LaChance was ninth, and Dane Gangler, it says he finished in 10th. Finished 10th. So, good job to Jackson. I mean, and Steven, for that matter. I mean, both of them. A couple more locals in this main event, as it should be with our independent class. I thought TJ making the main was pretty cool. Same thing with Justin Stevie. He got the bump right there behind him. So I think the tires for this class were just fine. They were silver compound, but everybody's on the same tire.
Yeah, there's a few people that were concerned about that, and it's like, hey, nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
it'll
be fine. Expert buggy, Caden Fuller with a TQ and a win. He only finished 2 seconds ahead of Zeke, though. They were hanging with him a little bit more in this one. Zeke was second. Kyle Gannon was third. Cameron Ayers with a little bit better finish than her four-wheel drive was fourth. Cal Holmberg was fifth. Jeremy Fellas from the bump was sixth. And dude, I mean, he was up there. I thought he was going to catch the top three.
Who? Jeremy?
Yeah. Dude, his car was on it.
When Kyle went to last, didn't he? He crashed out a little bit in the first couple laps because he made the wrong tire choice in 40 plus, and he was like, I need to change my tires. He ran in and put his older blown out tires on. Yeah. And sauced them, and it just took. They hadn't had sauce on them like all day, so it took him a minute to get the tires to come in.
Yeah, lap 3 he dropped down to eighth.
He was reeling everybody in.
Yeah, lap 3 he dropped down to eighth and then worked his way back up. So. Yeah.
Like if you would have had like another lap, I feel like he could have, because he was like right there behind Zeke on the last lap. Yeah. Yep. He'd have had another maybe 30 seconds. He probably could have won.
Yeah. Aiden Tice qualified 7th, finished 7th. Same thing for Shane Borden, qualified 8th, finished 8th. Cal Schmer was 9th. Nate Sutherland was 10th. I think Nate was trying to run silvers all day too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, I'm moving on because we were late and we're trying to get done here. We'll do the mod classes last. Mini Truggy, dude, I don't know what I did on the first lap, but I TQ'd and won. Honestly, I didn't feel good about it because the first lap I was almost dead last, and I just was driving like crap on the opener, and then like. My truck kind of pushed because I didn't take any warm-up laps. I felt because I was like, man, what if I dump? And so I didn't take any warm-up laps at all. I just drove my car over to the line and then went. So it took like a lap or two, it seemed like, for my tires to kind of, I guess, warm up a little bit, and then it was fine. But that first lap, like my truck wouldn't turn. I'm like, uh-oh. I thought it was broke at first, and then it ended up being okay. So I did work my way back. I got a little animated on the driver's stand because I got up the 8-pack and I turned the corner and I saw Dane was in trouble, like spun around. And so I had moved to go around him, and then he shot out in front of me and I hit him, and my hit got his car to go the right direction, and my truck was pointed the wrong direction, totally backwards. And so I was up on the stand and I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me, you know? And then, so then I was kind of hot, and then I'm just thinking to myself, well, here we go. I'm going to find another way to blow another one. And then Mitchell just annihilated me at the end of the straightaway, like a couple laps later.
And his truck was broken.
And I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? And then after that, it was fine. But the first 3 laps of this race was just, I don't even remember him. I just remember my truck getting batted around a little bit, and me not driving good, for the first lap because it wouldn't turn. So I went wide, and then I went wide again, and then, just bad. But it all worked out. Dane Gangler with a good finish, though. He qualified third, finished second. James Ham qualified second, finished third, so they just flopped places. Ashley McCormick had a good finish. He qualified sixth, moved all the way up to fourth. KP Rains had a good one. He qualified ninth and got the bump and finished fifth. Connor Herrick finished sixth. Don Drews was seventh. Nick Mitrovic was eighth. Mitchell Pavel with the break-in car was ninth. And then Wade Gehring couldn't make the race, so he was 10th. So, okay, and then Mod 4-Wheel. Dude, I think the story of the day in this class was first off Dakota in 4-wheel drive. He was basically untouchable. And then Aiden Horn. I think he was the only one that had a shot at him.
Yeah.
I mean, Aiden qualified fifth and finished second, I think, 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
At least 2 times. So, Aiden really came on strong. Brian Mayfield had a horrible A1 and then recovered, winning A3 to get third. Seth Van Dalen with his techno ride finished fourth. His car was looking cool. He never did the triple double
in the mains.
In the mains.
Yeah.
I thought he might save it for something, but Tom Rinnernecht was fifth. Our very own Tom Rinnernecht. Blake Champlin was sixth. Lee Setzer was seventh. Mason Fuller was eighth. Charlie Mariano was ninth. Drew Ruben King was 10th. And Aiden Olson qualified straight into the main, finished 11th. So he's I'm proud of Aiden because I mean this was a big deal, I think, to make the main with all these guys.
Yeah.
So, and Aiden's also would be the highest finisher in this class, not named Tom Rinnernecht.
Yeah.
Because we kind of consider Tom a local. 2-wheel mod, kind of the same deal. Dakota looked lights out in the first one, but the second one, Aiden Horn had something for him. And I thought Aiden was going to get him to force an A3. It ended up not happening. And then Ryan Mayfield won A3. Yeah. And so he finished second overall. Aiden Horn was third. Tom Rinnernecht had a shot at the podium, just missed out on it, finishing fourth. I think he needed to finish in front of Aiden a little higher than he did. Blake Champlin was fifth. Mason Fuller was sixth. Lee Setzer was seventh. Mariana from the bump finished eighth. Vanderbeek was ninth. Seth Van Dalen was 10th, and Drew Ruben King was 11th. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 Summer Series racers making the A and 2-wheel drive.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
So that kind of wraps that up. We'll take a quick pivot lending break, and then we'll take maybe a question or two. We're not going to spend too much time on questions because we were late, and my family wants to go home. They've probably had a long day too. So we'll hear from our sponsor really fast.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Yeah!
This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
This is David Olson with a Pivot Lending Update. Just want to kind of give you guys some of the activities going on in the conforming markets, some of the government markets, non-conforming jumbo markets. Now that we're into 2021, and here we go. Conforming loan limits have increased. So if you're looking for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, new loan limit is $548,250. So you can take a loan on up to that amount. In the high cost areas, so for example, a lot of the counties contiguous to like Denver, some of the bigger metro areas, and Denver itself, high loan limit is $822,375. So those are the new lending loan limits for conforming. In the government world right now, we have FHA loans. We can lend up to $56,362. So if you're looking for an FHA loan, you now can go up to 356, 362. It's really good. That's about almost 100 grand more than we were at 5-6 years ago. Used to be around the 271 mark. VA loans, you can go up to the same as the conventional 548, 250. Jumbo loans are 548, 251, all the way up to 3 million. So we do a pretty good job in that space actually too. We have offices in some heavily populated areas of jumbo land out in Southern California, Scottsdale. We're now entering into New England. So if you happen to be in that jumbo territory, we've got some really, really, really good jumbo rates. VA, again, that was the 548, 250. The last thing is USDA. USDA income limits have increased now in 2021. The new limit starts at $90,300 and tiers off at $132,050. Those are based on your household sizes. So the number of head in the household that gets you into that program. USDA is really nice. It is populations 25,000 and less for your city or town size. There are a few counties in Nebraska that are grandfathered in, a few areas or cities, I should say. Norfolk and Columbus exceed that, but you can still get the USDA programs, I believe. You can also get into the USDA programs, which USDA is 100% financing. So it's very similar to the VA program. There are a few unique program guidelines that they offer. For example, if the appraised value is higher than the purchase price, you can actually borrow up to 100% of the appraised value to include in your closing costs. So that's pretty cool. All right, so those are kind of the updates for the loan limits and income limits going into this year. If you have any questions on those, make sure that you reach out to either myself or Dawn. I know that the guys on the podcast, Alex and Will, tend to say that I'm out and about a lot, and which is true, but I always have my cell phone on, 402-881-5951, or reach out to Dawn Zoller, of course. I can get back to you and give you some updates on what you're looking for, and then get you with Dawn if she's unable to answer the phone.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
There's always one. I just read somebody's report from our race, and they're like, "Damn cheaters, stuck." Ugh. That gets
What?
old. That gets old.
Eh.
Don't run stock
The
then.
cheaters
Run
are
mod.
gonna cheat.
Run mod. I'm over it. Anyways, the
It's one
same
of those things.
the same people
They're-
that are in the A mains at everything are in the A mains here. So I don't think it's that.
Wonder who is cheating.
Yeah, I know. We got a couple super chats. Steve RC says, "No question this time. Just wanted to thanks to both of you for your dedication and willing to help out everyone." So there you go. Thanks.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. And Peter Renault dropped a $5 super chat while we were doing the pivot, and said, "I got to watch all weekend while building his T62. Great job and thanks." So
Awesome.
pretty awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
I'm
welcome.
gonna deburr these holes.
Okay. I wanted to show you guys something before we answer a few questions. We're just going to answer a few, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
This is the next video coming on the YouTube show. Gosh darn it. Let me get this in here. Aha!
That's pretty sweet, man.
So I'm going to do an...
T-Tran hook you up with that?
Yeah, I did. I'm going to do an unboxing, and then we'll take it out in the snow, see how it performs. Should be a lot of fun.
Thomas is awesome.
Yeah. Should be great. Okay. Just really quick. Nick Pavel wanted to know, are we going to talk about the triple scoop being carpet or dirt? So here's the deal. I did want to announce this today. The triple scoop will be on dirt.
Is that this weekend already?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to run the first one.
I just didn't want to waste. I don't want to waste the layout. It's so fun. It's so big. It's cool that I just got to do it. So
we'll see. I don't know yet. We'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to run it or not.
Yeah.
I have a life.
Yeah.
I mean, I just need to get some stuff taken care of.
We have race this weekend, then Techno Series, then Carpet Crash In, and then the second triple scoop.
Oh, so there's a break?
Yeah. There's a 2-week break in between.
Maybe I'll be able to do it then.
Okay. So I'm going to make a post about that at some point, either today or tomorrow. So
what is the triple scoop for people who
I'm
don't
sorry.
know?
So I didn't want to call it Triple Crown because everybody calls their 3-race series Triple Crowns. And so we're calling it the Triple Scoop. It's got an ice cream theme, and the top 3 in each class will get gift certificates to either Zestos or Dairy Queen. I haven't decided yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Anyways, I lost my train of thought because I'm reading this, and I don't know. I should just stop reading Facebook because there's always that one person that blames their bad performance on something as stupid as what I'm reading. Everything was going so good today. Anyways, it doesn't.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. Anyways, Mad Thunder's got a question really fast. It's a 2-parter. Why do truck classes get really popular and then die off? What makes buggies have more staying power?
Buggy is the purest class.
That's true.
I think.
Yeah, the truck thing is just, it comes and goes. It's been that way since I remember racing. And I used to be a truck guy.
Trucks, one of my favorite classes. Always will be.
He's got another one here. Why have off-road tracks become more like supercross tracks? When I was younger, I remember them being more flat with some jumps.
These cars are more durable now.
Yeah. I think the cars have a lot to do with it, but also a lot of the track builders are influenced by supercross and motocross and stuff. And because our stuff can jump now and land well, I mean, I don't think you'd be able to get away with the type of tracks we have with a JRX 2,
No, I don't think you would either. I think the cars are more durable, and I think that the equipment to build a track is maybe more readily available than it used to be.
Yeah.
For the average person, I think that those are all things that have a lot to do with it.
Yeah. I think there's I think in many ways the cars kind of conform to the surface of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But also the surface of the day can also kind of conform to the car a little bit, I guess.
Well, see, even the guys in the 90s, they all came from a lot of them came from motocross backgrounds.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't Cliff Lett involved with Yamaha?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And motocross. So, and same with Mark Pavidis.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Yamaha guy, I thought.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to say that, now it's different, I don't think it really is. I think the cars are just capable of more, so you can throw more at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, because here I'm looking at the TQ second and third from independent stock buggy. Okay, and I'm just going to tell you right now, there's no way in hell Jackson Anderson has a cheater motor in his car. That kid cannot afford jack shit. And I'm saying that I'm using that language because that's the truth. Like, he can barely afford to race. He borrows tires from everybody. He scrapped together this car. He had to beg his parents for entry fees. There's no way this kid is cheating.
Yeah,
that's
ridiculous.
And he wouldn't know how to begin with, but there's no way his motor is illegal. And the same thing for Steven Smith, who finished second. He bought his motor upstairs at the Plex. The dude's got a motor that he bought from the store. I sold it to him.
Yeah. No, these guys aren't sending their motors off. They're not.
Yeah.
I believe the car that Jackson's running, I built it.
Yeah.
Like, to say that kid's cheating is ridiculous. You need to just drive better and get faster.
Yeah.
Honestly.
What a wanker.
And I hope that person's listening. But if he wants to talk to me about it, I'll talk to him about it. But to say he's cheating is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And not fair. That isn't fair to him.
Yeah. I agree. Okay. What else do we got? One more here. Bought a B6D from the Plex Tuesday and built it watching the races. I'm just realizing I needed wheels and tires. Do you guys have anything in stock, or did you get cleaned out? Believe it or not, we have a lot of tires in stock now. We might be one of the only places in the United States that has gold ellipses. So
yeah,
we're going to be good for a while. So, yes, that's the Yami R1M. I think that's Dane. Dane Gangler. The Rift, the Axial Rift, is the rock bouncer, and I'm excited to open it up and get to look at it and play with it. Did you say the scoop is on dirt now? Yes, it is. We're going to drive it on dirt. You know what that does? That means that I don't have to put a carpet track together Friday. I'm so happy.
Do you have to make all three?
No, 2 out of 3.
Ooh, okay. I might be in then.
Okay.
All right.
And then Yami also said, I'm pretty sure that's Dane, said hot lap at Independent 75 was 21.9 and not from Jackson Anderson. So,
yeah.
Whatever. And it's same thing. I mean, if you want to say that, like, Caden Fuller, sorry.
Yeah.
No. Caden Fuller's lights out, dude. It's not his motor. And guarantee.
Dude, those kids, like, both Mason and Caden, like Caden, I feel like is going to be like crazy fast, like unreal fast.
Yeah.
In a few years, because he grew up, or he's still growing up, or he started driving all of like Mason's hand-me-down cars, I believe.
Yeah.
He'd just get the stuff that, because he was running stock, so he'd get Mason's old car, that kind of thing. Like, he didn't necessarily need the new stuff yet. And he would just wheel the piss out of it and do well with it. And it kind of made it so he can just drive anything.
Yeah. I mean, dude.
Both those kids can just drive anything.
The crazy thing is Emerson used to beat Caden consistently. Yeah. That ain't going to happen now, No. So, please.
But, like, yeah. I think Jackson actually copied Kyle's setup for two-wheel.
Yeah.
Or for stock. Like, there's nothing special about that car.
Yeah. So, okay. That's probably it. If I skipped your question this week, I'm sorry, but we're kind of running late, and my sister and brother-in-law kind of want to go home. So,
sure.
Appreciate you guys watching. I think we were up to 33 or 34 at one point. So, if you get a chance, listen to the edited version this Friday. My wife didn't text me anything today, so that kind of ruins that whole bit.
Segment.
And I switched over to Pabst Blue Ribbon hard coffee for this one. So that ruins that.
You deserve it.
That ruins that one.
Crack a cold one.
And what else is there? There was no point that I had to say that I'm clearly not an engineer, which is true because I apparently don't know how to charge a battery or set up my speed controllers to not let me dump. So whatever.
Yep. There's another one.
Yeah, there's another one. So anyways, so we're going to go. And appreciate you tuning in. And I hope that if you came to this race, I hope you had fun. If you didn't have fun, I hope you take a look at your life and figure out what it's like to wake up every morning hating it. And we'll go. And we'll go from there. So. Okay. Richard's laughing super hard in the other room. All right. I'll see you guys later. And thanks for tuning in. I love you.
Yeah.